Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB, and I'm back with more of the WWE versus Total Extreme Wrestling playthrough, playthrough. I don't know what you would call this. Either way, it's basically, if you missed the first episode, there was a Monday Night Raw episode. This is pretty much a series where I'm going to allow WWE to book Total Extreme Wrestling and see if exactly they're able to get their company up or if they'll fail miserably. So if you haven't seen the first episode, I'd recommend going over there because I'm going to spoil one thing that might just hinder you from seeing that episode in general. The first episode, we did the post Raw WrestleMania, and that did horribly. Did majorly horribly. I don't expect this to do much better, especially because this is 205 Live we're doing this time, and a lot of people's popularity isn't the most, well, you know, it's they don't have the highest of the popularity. Despite the fact that I have, I've helped them out as much as I can, just like I've said I would do. I think in the future I am gonna go ahead and make 205 its own separate brand. That way we don't have like everybody from Asuka from Monday Night Raw all the way to like Zack Ryder from Friday Night SmackDown that's available to work. Just make sure it's only the cruiserweights. That way I don't have to deal with anyone getting mad if they don't get booked. I don't know if they would, but I'd rather not have to deal with that. And not only that, but it would make it easier just to kind of like shift through the roster pretty much whenever I gotta like turn someone heel, or in this case with 205, control the pushes that the wrestlers get. Um, 205 Live books, of course, someone like Cedric Alexander, the current cruiserweight champion, is going to be booked as a main eventer. Well, he's not looked at as a main eventer on Monday Night Raw. So in the case of 205 Live, I'm going to up people's pushes to where I see fit as they're currently being pushed on 205 Live. And when they're on, Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or whatever else show they appear on, I will lower it down to, where they're supposed to be, auto push, all that stuff. So that's pretty much it for 205 Live. They're on their own after that. I can't help them out in any sort of way. I might go through and edit certain people's popularity, not just in 205 Live, but in the whole WWE region. Certain things to make it kind of where I see fit if I need to. Like I said, I am going to try to make it as fair to WWE as I can. And, if I am able to edit it out to where I think WWE is, not to where I think, or not to where, it's where Roman Reigns is like the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, that, Bret Hart's completely and totally forgotten about, but more of where I feel like certain people's stats should lie if they need to be upped at all. So, with that being said, let's just go on to 205 Live and see just how bad this is going to be. Now, before I go into this show, I do want to say one last thing. I watched this show, of course, I had to. I had to get all the timing done, but I was actually watching it, whereas Raw, I've already seen that episode, so I just skimmed through it. This one, I actually sat down and watched it because I figured, why the hell not? And it was an actually really good show. Matches like Kalisto and Tozawa, that was a great match. Drew Gulak and Mark Andrews, the crowd drifted. I'm assuming there was a beach ball or something going on there. But this was actually a pretty well, booked show, so I don't think it'll go over well, but it'll be interesting. I didn't even really think about this in the first episode, but it will be interesting going forward once we get to like newer episodes that I haven't seen, or of course 205, seeing how it sets to where I think the show was done to where Total Extreme Wrestling thinks it's done. But that's enough rambling on. Let's just go ahead and start off this show as we oh my goodness. Well, it's not much better than Monday Night Raw, to be fair. We had some stinkers on Monday Night Raw. Okay, let's do this. We open up 205 Live, with Cedric pretty much hyping up Cedric Alexander's WrestleMania title win against Mustafa Ali. By the way, we're being held in the Beskett Stadium. That's one last thing I did forget to mention. I'm not going to care too much about stadiums on 205 Live like I do with SmackDown or Raw, because realistically they should be in the same stadium as SmackDown, but that's not fair. So either way, even though it is a B show, but whatever. So here we go. We hype up Cedric Alexander's WrestleMania title win, and then we go to this is a stupid angle to be honest, but I'm not sure if I should include these, and it'll be interesting to hear your guys' input on this one. Monday Night Raw, for instance, had a lot of them. A lot of segments where you have Corey Graves, Michael Cole, and Jonathan Coachman all standing there, hyping up something going on, whether it was Roman Reigns or Nia Jax or something going on. And originally I was thinking, maybe I shouldn't include those because, well, they're kind of pointless when you think about the overall scheme. But they are a part of the show, and I guess they kind of contribute to the overall, story, and it helps out because 9 times out of 10 I usually end up with, parts where I have to add some minutes to certain segments anyway. So I don't know if I should do them or if I shouldn't, but oh boy, if I do that, that's going to be just a whole nother thing onto that. That's just Monday Night Raw had a whole bunch of those, along with those WrestleMania segments. Jesus. Either way, we go to another E- segment here as Vic Joseph, whoever the hell that is, by the way, first time I've ever heard of him. Vic Joseph introduces the crowd, or not the crowd, but the TV audience, I guess, to Percy Watson, who is now going to become a permanent fixture on the 205 Live commentary team, while Nigel McGuinness, who will return next week, is currently out. I believe he was, he just had a newborn child, and that's why he was out, or something like that. Maybe I'm jumping time, and that was just currently on NXT. Either way, Watson is joining the commentary table. They then, of course, hype up the Age of Alexander. Of course, that's what they're calling Cedric Alexander's title win. Not a bad name, to be honest. Not a perfect name. It's kind of cheesy, but it works. Anyway, the Age of Alexander, so still hyping up Cedric Alexander, kind of, parallel to what we saw on Monday Night Raw, where they just continually hyped up one thing with Roman Reigns all the time. They really do that with Cedric Alexander here on this show. Oh my good God. We then go to an F plus rating as we get a hype segment for the upcoming, well, not upcoming, I guess upcoming would mean it was next. But either way, a match that will take place later on tonight. Mark Andrews taking on Drew Gulak. Good God, I'm so glad this is a B show. This is not going to affect any popularity, so that's awesome. Either way, hopefully it'll affect the Cruiserweight's popularity. Either way, we jump into an E plus rating here. This is kind of between the match because I believe Kalisto is already in the ring at this moment, and we get a nice little selfie kind of promo where Kalisto is cutting a promo while Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik are right behind him doing whatever it is they're doing, and he's pretty much just hyping up the fact that next week, it'll be a Tornado Tag Team match, but the Lucha House Party's rolling on or something right now, and I'm going to just, give Tozawa a preview of what's to come. It was, whatever it is. I don't really understand this Lucha House Party thing. Like, I get that, they're all masked, so of course you're going to want to put them together. It's kind of like what they're doing with Tozawa and Atami. They're, Japanese. They're going to put them together. In a way, I guess it's kind of racist, but I don't really view it as racist myself. I think of it more as, you're gonna, go towards, your specific group, whatever it is, think of it like as high school days. You're not gonna hang out with the preppy kids if you're a goth kid. You're gonna, go towards the goth kids even if you don't know them. That's kind of how it is. I view it here. All three of these guys have masks, so they have something in common. They're gonna, crowd towards each other. Same thing goes, with certain other, ethnicities and stuff. But that's for a debate at another time. Either way, we have the Lucha House Party promo here. I don't even know why I jumped into that over a dumbass Lucha House Party promo. Haven't you guys missed my random rants? By the way, a lot of love from you guys. A lot of love on that first video of, guys, welcome me back. A lot of love. Thanks for that, guys. It really brightened my day up, especially at work when I was seeing all those comments. Made the day go by a little quicker. So I thank you guys for that. A lot of love. A lot of love from the Nerds and Geeks. What is this handle change? I think it's just, it's just Lince Dorado changing a gimmick. Go for it, I guess. Oh, God. Did it do worse? Yeah, it did worse. He had a below average on his wholesome Mass Luchador gimmick. This time he got a poor rating on it. Oh, Lince Dorado, that sucks for you. We'll wait till Tozawa's actually on, screen for us to change that. I think it was just a heel turn, but in fact, let me double check that. Yeah, it is just a heel turn. So, and I'm not doing that just yet because I'm not sure if WWE is pulling the trigger on that, but it seems like they're teasing it. All right, we've lingered on here too much. We then go to an E minus rating here. Tozawa had major problems due to the language barrier. That might be something I have to edit because I believe Tozawa speaks English. So, speaks English. So we'll have to edit that. Um, but an E minus rating here as Tozawa makes his way down to the ring, and then we go to another pre-match promo here where Tozawa, with Hideo Itami standing behind him, talks about how Kalisto and the Lucha House Party disrespected his, a man he respects very much, his sensei Hideo Itami, or some stuff like that. I'm pretty sure he called him his sensei, but he didn't call him it a second time. So I could have, thought I heard that, but pretty sure. Yeah, this is just the turn, so we're not going to do that. We then jump into the matchup, which D minus. That's actually not too bad, to be honest. I mean, in my opinion, it was actually a really good match. This was a great match. I would have honestly given it a solid C rating for a 205 live match at least. But it was actually a really good match. I'd recommend checking it out if you guys haven't seen it. Not like pay-per-view quality worthy, but decent match. And definitely kept it going on. Percy Watson, by the way, is pretty good color commentator. I wouldn't say he's an announcer. There's a difference between an announcer and a commentator. But Watson's reactions to some of the attacks close to him, when they're around the announce table, it was really realistic, and it made me laugh and enjoyed it. Maybe not realistic is the word, but it was over the top, I guess, was more of the word I was looking for. Either way, a D minus rating here. Bout that had terrible wrestling to an non-existent crowd heat. Kalisto goes over Tozawa in 11 minutes 46 seconds with the Slido del Sol. I guess this is something good. Vic Joseph and Percy Watson have pretty good chemistry, so despite both of them being, I believe, horrible at both their roles, even though I think Watson's actually not a bad commentator. Vic Joseph, he's bland, but he's decent. They have chemistry, so it ought to help. This did cool the crowd a little, so I didn't even know the crowd was hot. Kalisto with a solid D rating in the in-ring, and Tozawa with an E+. Tozawa's improving in technical and performance. Kalisto improving in rumble and performance. So, good stuff. We then jump to an E- rating here as we hype up the fact that next week it'll be Lince Dorado and Grand Metalik, the Lucha House Party, taking on the team of Hideo Itami and Tozawa in a Tornado Tag Team matchup. What is this? Oh, it's also... I guess this one should be because he's technically a heel, but I'll wait on that one as well until it's like a definite we see it. Because, maybe they'll have the Lucha House Party turn heel. You never know. We then go to a E- rating here as Tony Nese just approaches Mark Andrews in the back. He talks about how Mark Andrews has a match against Drew Gulak. Says that, Gulak used to be his friend and how he's changed or something and how it should be him in the ring tonight. But then he looks at Andrews and he tells him to, go out there and kick some ass. So he kind of hints at a face turn, which kind of sort of is pulled the trigger here tonight. So it's not me booking that. It's just WWE, and unfortunately WWE 2 kind of, messed us up because we had to, complete a bunch of turns early on. So Tony Nese's turn is probably going to go shit as well. All right, E- rating there. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. What do we got here? That's just Tony Nese. Not yet. We will turn it when we do it. We then go to a E- rating here as Drew Gulak is in the ring. He comes out to the ring, of course. He gets in the ring. Cuts a little bit of a pre-match promo as he teases the PowerPoint presentations and then totally nixes it from the fans and says, there's a time for pre-match PowerPoint presentations, and that time is not now. And he says, you're not looking at the Microsoft. What was the line? It was a genius. The Microsoft something expert. It was brilliant. I literally laughed out loud. It was brilliant. The Microsoft something expert. You're looking at the submission expert Drew Gulak, and all that. It was a good promo on the behalf of Drew Gulak. It's interrupted by Mark Andrews, who makes his way down to the ring for said matchup here. Mark Andrews is developing better performance skills, so that's good on him. Apparently, there's a little bit of a rivalry here between these two because Drew Gulak beat Mark Andrews in that cruiserweight title tournament, which is stupid. It's a tournament, but I guess maybe Gulak, did some dirty stuff and maybe cheated to win, or maybe beat him down post match, kind of like he does tonight after this match. We go to a D minus rating here, another D minus, which it's kind of a shame because Kalisto and Neville, or why did I say Neville? I wish. Kalisto and Tozawa was a much better match than Drew Gulak and Mark Andrews. But either way, they both got the same rating here. We have a bout that had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. Drew Gulak goes over Mark Andrews in 11 minutes 40 seconds with the Trailblazer submission. I'm not exactly sure if that was the name of the submission hold he used, but either way, it was by submission, so it works for me. Gulak and Andrews have good chemistry, so that helped. This, unfortunately got cold. Drew Gulak with a D minus rating and Mark Andrews with an E plus. Gulak is improving in Rumble, technical and flying, as well as performance. And Andrews is improving in Rumble, technical, and performance as well. We then jump to the post-match beatdown. And I just kind of spoiled a little few moments ago for you. But if you guys watch the show, it's not a spoil. E plus rating here. Oh, God, these are great ratings. As Drew Gulak continues the lock Mark Andrews in his whatever submission hold he had, which leads to Tony Nese coming out and beating down on not Mark Andrews, Drew Gulak, chasing him off, and I guess completing his face turn. I'm going to assume that's a face turn, so hopefully we're not doing this too early, but let's do it. He got an above average on his old school face, but his turn was a complete disaster. Okay. Whatever. We then go to a D minus rating here. Some people weren't following a script. Apparently Jack Gallagher wasn't. That's a shame. D minus rating here as Drake Maverick is backstage with Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher as he welcomes them back pretty much into the 205 tag team division or whatever, before pretty much, expressing his worries about Brian Kendrick, Mike going after Hideo Itami since he broke his eye or orbital bone, I think it was. Kendrick and Jack Gallagher are sure that they have no vendetta against Hideo Itami, and that's that. So Jack Gallagher is looking very stale. He was also poor trying to improvise dialogue, so I don't know why. I didn't know I did that, but whatever. Jack Gallagher gimmick. Well, try to help them out there. What do we got going on here, actually? Well, look at that. Never mind. We were changing his gimmick anyway. Above average. So look at that. There you go, Jack. We helped you out. We don't even need that anymore. All right, cool. We then go to a E minus rating. Good God. The age of Alexander is practically dead by tonight. As we hype up that the age of Alexander, Cedric Alexander, the Cruiserweight Champion, is out next. We then move into this is the closing segment of the night with a solid E rating. E is for everyone. EA Sports rating here. I don't even know I was gonna read the whole freestyle segment. Drake Maverick comes out. He, says it's his honor and pleasure, after hyping up WrestleMania, his honor and pleasure to introduce the new Cruiserweight Champion, Cedric Alexander. By the way, Drake Maverick, a.k.a. Rockstar Spud, I already knew this beforehand. There's a reason why I chose him to be my, head figure, like the authority figure of my IWC company. I've always, kind of envisioned that gimmick to be him in my mind, so it's kind of cool to see him as an authority figure, despite not really what I had in mind. But, maybe it will come true. I would like some copyrights, though. Maybe I should. Either way, Drake Maverick is amazing on the mic. Really amazing. He comes out here, he hypes up the crowd, introduces Cedric Alexander. Alexander comes down. He can't really get a word out because the crowd is just, you deserve it, and all that stuff, which he does. I'm not saying he doesn't, but he can't really get much of a word in here. He does talk about, about 2 years ago how they chanted hire Cedric, and now how he's the Cruiserweight Champion now. This leads to Mustafa Ali coming out. Looks like he might be turning heel. He's even all dressed in black, which usually signifies a heel turn. But instead, he, shakes Cedric's hand. He pretty much says, you didn't just earn it, home, or, you don't just deserve it, homie. You earned it or whatever. They shake hands. He talks about how there's a line of superstars and how he's a part of that line. Buddy Murphy's music hits. Maverick, Alexander, Ali all wait for Buddy Murphy to come out, but instead he sneaks in from behind, attacks Cedric Alexander, and slides out of the ring. I probably should have made a feud out of this, but I didn't even really think about feuds for 205 Live. This angle brought the crowd down. Alexander, though, is developing better performance skills. And we ended off to get a D- rating. Honestly, that's not that bad of a rating. A D-. I mean, it's not perfect, but look at all those E's and F's and all that stuff. Guaranteed the 2 matches probably helped it out, but I'm surprised. I was expecting like an E, maybe even an E-. But a D-? There's room for improvement. Mark Andrews apparently was slightly overused, but what can you do? Alright, so that's going to do it for 205 Live. We're jumping right into SmackDown afterwards, so now I got to go and watch the go-home show, or not the go-home show, but the SmackDown after Mania. I guess that's a thing now. To pretty much get this up. I don't expect this one to be up today like both Raw and 205 were, but probably up tomorrow. Maybe when not Wednesday. What am I talking about? I got my days all messed up. Maybe Tuesday. Either way, expect SmackDown to be up here pretty soon. I'm trying to catch up to WWE as quick as I can. And I'm interested in this series, to be honest. I'm curious. I've always wanted to do this series to kind of, book alongside WWE and just see how well they're doing in Total Extreme Wrestling terms. So 205 was a surprise. It wasn't, honestly, a great show. But in my opinion, for 205 Live terms, that was actually pretty good. Monday Night Raw, that was a disaster. So, unfortunately, since 205 Live is right after SmackDown, I am not going to be able to go ahead and edit anybody. So, we'll have to wait until after, on the WrestleMania shows. So, pretty much the Superstar Shakeup is when we'll see everybody in line to where I feel like they should be. By the way, apparently, we had some things here if you guys care about them. Akeem has a positive test of steroids. Big E was making fun of Noam Dar. Razor also had a positive test for steroids, which I think you guys saw that. And backstage rules are apparently having a negative effect. Let's look at that real quick. By the way, I had to do like a one-night appearance with Mark Andrews. It was a hard one. He wasn't on the roster, so I have to actually go ahead and book him. Or hire him like in a pay-per-appearance thing, because I don't believe he's actually there. Ooh, what was I doing? Oh, the backstage rules before we send this off. I could just send it off right now. If you guys enjoyed this video, of course, you can always leave a like, comment, share as always. If you feel like supporting me, I should probably mention this more. But, maybe once I, pick up the steam and start, remembering how to do things and getting a little bit more comfortable recording things. Because this isn't the exact recording format I would like to do on this anyway. Get out of here. You just saw my lady friend. Fucking Facebook thing pops up everywhere. That's lame as hell. No, we don't need a dress code. You guys can leave. I do a 3-hour pre-show arrival. I mean, that is a real rule, so we'll put it there. There you go. That seems good enough to me. But I don't even know what I was going on about. Look at that. I got a .64 rating. Good stuff. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment, share it to anyone you think will enjoy it. Your friends, your family, your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram. I don't give a damn. Share it. Help a buddy out. And yeah. As always, my name is OMG, WTF, LOL, TEW, BRB. I will see you once I get SmackDown done. And have a good one, guys.